It's August 7th, and the strange side of history awaits. Today, we have a desperate courthouse hostage crisis, a sunken Roman city preserved beneath the waves, and one of the most daring and illegal high-wire walks in history. Let's begin. On August 7th, 1970, 17-year-old Jonathan Jackson entered a courtroom in California carrying a bag full of guns. Moments later, a trial unfolding inside became an armed takeover. Jackson distributed the weapons to 3 inmates, and they took Judge Harold Haley, prosecutor Gary Thomas, and 3 female jurors hostage. Their plan was to escape and demand the release of the imprisoned Soledad brothers, including Jackson's older brother George. Before leaving, the captors transformed the judge into a human shield. A sawed-off shotgun was taped beneath Haley's chin, and the barrel was pressed against his neck. The hostages were forced into a waiting van, and the group began to drive away. Then, police opened fire. Bullets tore through the vehicle, and inmates Jonathan and inmates James McCallan and William Christmas were killed. The shotgun beneath Judge Haley's chin discharged, killing him instantly. Prosecutor Gary Thomas was shot and permanently paralyzed, but survived and helped save the 3 jurors. The weapons were later traced to activist Angela Davis. She was charged with conspiracy, kidnapping, and murder, but ultimately was acquitted of every charge. What began as a trial ended in a parking lot shootout. On August 7th, 2002, Italy officially protected a place that had spent a century disappearing beneath the sea. Just offshore from Naples lied a drowned remains of Baia, once one of Rome's most extravagant resort cities. Emperors and powerful elite, including Nero, Cicero, and Julius Caesar, came here for the thermal baths, marble villas, and notorious parties. But the grounds were never still. The city stood on a volcano, volcanic Phyphogeian fields, where a phenomenon caused the coastline to slowly rise and fall. Over centuries, the land sank, pulling streets, bathhouses, and entire rooms beneath the Gulf of Naples. Today, some ruins rest at 13 meters underwater. Divers can swim above the ancient roads and through buildings where Romans once gathered. Detailed mosaics remain visible on the seafloor, while fish drift between the columns across marble pavement. The city quietly slipped beneath the waves, leaving an ancient Roman world preserved in eerie silence. On August 7th, 1974, people on the streets of New York walked up and saw a man standing in the sky. French high-wire artist Philippe Petit was walking between the Twin Towers, approximately 1,350 feet above the ground. There was no safety net, and Petit had secretly planned the stunt for 6 years. He used forged identification and disguises. Overnight, they rigged a cable across roughly a 130-foot gap. Shortly after sunrise, he stepped into the void. For the next 45 minutes, he crossed between the tower 8 times. He walked backwards, knelt before a growing crowd, and even laid down on the wire while police waited helplessly on both rooftops. Only once rain began to fall did he step off the cable and into police custody. The charges were later dropped after he agreed to perform for children in Central Park. For one impossible morning, Philippe Petit had turned an empty air into his stage. Another day, another strange bite from history. Like, comment, and subscribe. Your next eerie dose is just a day away.